Dear Gemini, close your eyes for a moment and listen, as if the universe is softly calling your name. There are messages that are never written in words, but carried in the quiet vibrations of the soul, felt only by those who are still enough to notice. I don't believe you arrived here by accident. Maybe you've already sensed a gentle knock within your heart, like someone inviting you into a story unlike any other. A story layered with mystery, woven with light and shadow, and I know you are ready to hear it. This moment is like standing before an ancient door. It doesn't open with a key. It opens with the quiet consent of your heart, and when you choose to step in, you'll be guided one step at a time, each step revealing a truth that has never been spoken. Right here at the very beginning, I want you to take a deep breath and allow yourself to sink fully into the space of this story, because the journey ahead is not just about the cards. It is a mirror reflecting an entire life, an entire destiny. And from here where everything begins, we turn to the very first card. Gemini, soul of two halves, mind and light breathing together in one body. When I speak your name, I picture movement that never stills, like a wind that will not settle, like a melody that changes its tempo the moment it begins. Both gentle and fierce. For 30 years I have turned over cards and listened to countless souls, but never, not once, have I seen an arrangement as miraculous as the one I see for you today. Please pause with me for a moment, take a deep breath, and feel that subtle stir inside you. This moment is not accidental. It is like a lamp switching on in the dark, a signal that a door in the cosmos is opening for you. I believe none of your steps have been wasted. Every pain, every tear, every disappointment you survived has been woven into the stream of destiny. They are like bricks laid to form a path. And now, today, you stand on that path ready to receive this message. You are not here by chance, Gemini. You are called. You are a soul chosen to receive a very particular kind of light. Try to remember how many times in your life you thought it was over, that nothing lay ahead. Then one day you realized that ending was actually the beginning of something new. That is your nature, carrying two poles within you, shadow and light, despair and hope. And when those poles touch, miracle happens. I have seen that truth in the cards today, and it took my breath away. You are a bridge between two worlds, the world of clear reason and the vast world of feeling. You are not only a speaker, not only a storyteller, you are a listener. Your sensitivity is not a burden. It is your compass in the chaos of life. To some you may seem too many-sided, too changeable. But to the universe, your variety makes you the doorway through which light flows. When I saw this arrangement in the spread, I understood. The events you have lived through are not a chain of accidents. They were woven by an invisible hand to bring you to this instant. A moment when every line in your palm, every fragment of experience, every lesson, all come together in a circle. A circle that marks the threshold of your eruption. And what sent a chill through me was knowing this eruption is not only for you. It is for those you will touch, those you will inspire, those who need the light your story can give. Let me tell you something, Gemini. On some quiet nights when I look back over the long road, I realize humanity doesn't always need grand gestures. Sometimes it only needs people brave enough to be themselves. I believe you are one of those people. You did not come here to become someone else's copy. You came to be yourself so fully that your light wakes the light in others. As you listen to these words, I know your heart is beating a different rhythm, a rhythm that knocks gently, asking, "Is it time?" Believe me, yes, this is the time. You no longer need to hide or doubt yourself. You have gone far enough, suffered enough, learned enough. Now you stand at the door to a new space where truth unfurls and where the real power within you is finally recognized. If something inside you is burning, calling, put a star in the comments. Not for me, but for you, a small token that you heard your soul's call. A little sign, but with the power to open a large gate. And I still remember the moment the first card revealed itself. After 30 years, the image turned in a way I had never seen before, like an invisible hand altering the flow of fate. In that instant, I knew I was not merely reading cards. I was witnessing something sacred, the awakening of some Gemini out there. Can you feel it? A wave of energy unfurling around you, inviting you forward. When you step through, you will see that what once fell apart was only the foundation for a miraculous rebirth waiting on the other side. So what was it about that first card that made me tremble? What made me stop, take a long breath and think, this is no ordinary reading anymore? Gemini, now it is time I tell you about that moment. The Fool, the card of beginnings, of bold steps into unknown lands. But today, when I opened the spread for Gemini, the Fool did not appear as it always has. It came reversed, and then suddenly, right before my eyes, it turned itself upright. In 30 years of reading, I had never once witnessed that. For a few seconds, I sat in silence. Time itself seemed to stop, as if an unseen hand left its mark on this very moment. I knew right away this message wasn't just about a new beginning. It was destiny tied to a choice you made 7 months ago. Gemini, do you remember that time? 7 months back when it felt like everything around you was collapsing. Maybe it was the end of a relationship, the loss of a job, or a belief you held onto that suddenly slipped away. In that moment you felt lost, swallowed by darkness. But the Fool is telling you now that moment was not the end. It was a doorway. What you thought was loss was actually the seed of the rebirth you're living today. In life, we often see only one small corner of the picture. When crisis strikes, we think it means failure, but the universe writes stories in its own way. The cracks in your life were not meant to destroy you, they were openings for light to enter. And Gemini, over these past 7 months, the light has been quietly seeping in, nourishing the seed you thought had died, until today when it is ready to rise. I want you to pause with me, close your eyes, and remember that moment. Do you recall thinking you would never stand again? Be honest with yourself, remember the tightness in your chest, the weight that pressed down on you. That was real pain, but it was also the moment the seed was buried. And a seed never grows unless it first falls into darkness. Today, you are no longer in that pit. Today, you are here, listening, and the seed within you has begun to sprout. Gemini, let me share this truth. Failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is fertile soil. It breaks up the hardened ground, giving the hidden seed space to breathe, to take root. When you thought everything was collapsing, the universe was actually clearing the old field so you could plant a new garden. And the Fool, this is the card that dares to step out, to leave the old shore and find the land your heart truly longs for. If you hear these words and remember a moment like that in your own life, I want you to claim it. Write in the comments, I remember that moment. Not just to tell me, but to affirm to yourself that from that darkness you rose. Those words you leave behind will become witnesses, not only to your journey, but to others who need to know they too can rise again. I know sometimes, Gemini, you blame yourself for falling, for letting things break. But don't forget, it's from the fall that you discovered your real strength. One who has never fallen doesn't know the value of standing again. But one who has fallen and still rises becomes a lighthouse for others. Picture the Fool once more, the traveler, eyes lifted forward, one foot ready to step over the edge, yet still smiling. The Fool doesn't know exactly what lies ahead, but he believes there is a path. And that, Gemini, is you. Yes, you hesitate. Yes, you get distracted. But deep within, you carry the belief that something greater awaits, a land yet to be discovered. What moved me most was when the Fool turned itself upright. It felt like the universe was saying it has seen your pain, your endurance, and now it wants you to know the time has come. No more hiding, no more looking back with regret. This is the true beginning. Gemini, you were born to set out, to carry your wings across skies untouched. And right now, I want you to give yourself permission to trust. To trust that your fall did not take away your light, it only made it blaze brighter as it rises today. To trust that you are strong enough to begin again, but this time with a wiser, fuller heart. And soon you will see, as the shadows recede, as the storm passes, the light within you will burst forth. That light will carry you to a new height, where the hidden power of Gemini, long asleep, awakens at last, like a star stirring after centuries of silence. The star, the card of light, of hope, of the purest essence within the soul. When this card appeared before me for Gemini, it felt as if the whole room lit up. A cool breeze, soft like morning air, flowed through my chest, and I knew this was no ordinary reading. This was the moment when the Gemini star, your star, was truly being called by name. Gemini, do you realize throughout your whole life, you've only touched about 10% of your true power? The other 90% lies still, like a river dammed by invisible stones. I call them promises, wounds, burdens passed from one generation to another. It could be the fear of abandonment from a father, the silent sacrifices of a mother, the unspoken shadows that linger in your family. All of it forms an unseen curse, binding you, convincing you that you are not allowed to shine at your fullest. But the star appears today to tell you the time has come. The flow must be released. The light you carry in your heart can no longer be held back by old barriers. When you heal yourself, you are not only healing your personal wounds, you are breaking chains for the generations before you and opening the way for those who come after you. Imagine yourself as a lamp placed in a dark room. If that lamp glows only a little, people remain lost. But when you dare to turn the switch, when you allow the light to burst forth, the entire room brightens and others can find their way out. Your difference, your sensitivity, your many dimensions, that is the light. It is not your weakness. It is your gift, the gift that can save a whole stream of lives. I remember a Gemini once told me, "I'm afraid I'm too different. I'm afraid that if I live as my true self, others won't understand." I looked straight into their eyes and said, "Your difference is the reason you are here. If the world needed one more person just like everyone else, you would not have been born." And I want to say the same thing to you right now. Gemini, your difference is the bridge, the new road, the light humanity needs. Do you see it? Each time you dare to live honestly, each time you speak your truth, someone in the dark feels less alone. Every time you open your heart and share your story, some soul finds the hope to go on. This is your healing mission. You don't need the title of healer. You don't need magical hands. Just by living as your true self, you spark healing. Let me pause here with you. Breathe in deeply. Breathe out and feel it. In every cell of your body, there is a little star. Each star carries memory, lessons, strength passed down through your ancestors. And today, the star gathers all of those little lights into one radiant sky inside of you. So when you look at the night sky, remember, you carry the same sky within your own heart. If you feel ready to break free of old limits, write in the comments, "I claim my true power." Not to prove anything to anyone else, but to remind yourself that you are choosing to live fully, choosing to step into the light, choosing to release everything that has been buried for so long. Gemini, you were born to be a symbol of wisdom, of adaptability, of connection. But more than that, you were born to be living proof that when a soul dares to live authentically, it can transform the course of an entire family line, even a whole community. You are not just an individual. You are part of a far greater story. And when you allow your star to shine, you'll see new doors opening. Unexpected opportunities, streams of abundance, and creative flow will rush toward you, as if the universe has been waiting for this very moment to place its gifts in your hands. The magician, the card of creative power, of the hands that turn the unseen into the seen, of the gift to transform ideas into reality. When this card appeared in the spread for Gemini, I felt a surge of energy, like electricity brushing across the skin. It wasn't loud, but it was so strong that the space around me seemed to tremble, and I knew right away, this is the moment you are no longer just a dreamer, no longer just an observer. This is the time you become the creator, the one writing the next chapter of your story. Gemini, how many times have you asked yourself, what part of me is still asleep? This card is your answer, because within you the universe has already placed every tool, sharp intellect, sensitive intuition, vivid language, and limitless imagination. All of it, like the four elements, earth, water, fire, air, waiting for you to take hold, combine, and shape into a new world. The magician reminds me of a simple truth: no idea ever dies. Maybe you abandoned a youthful dream, a project left unfinished, a wish you tucked away in the drawer of memory. But dreams don't vanish. They wait quietly for the day you've grown enough to return and claim them. Maybe you once thought that dream was small, unimportant, even foolish, but the universe never forgot. It's still there, and now the magician calls you back to bring it alive. What's strange is that when creative energy awakens, it doesn't just open one door, it opens three. I see three streams of abundance waiting for you. One flows from the past, maybe a skill you once learned and set aside, a connection you lost, or an opportunity you thought was gone that now returns. The second comes from your spiritual assets, the experiences, lessons, and wisdom you've gathered through trials. And the third, the brightest, comes from creation fused with technology, from using your hands and mind to bring forth something that has never existed before. Gemini, picture this. You're standing in a garden with three paths, each leading to a different gate. Behind each gate is a treasure, and you don't have to choose just one. The magician allows you to walk through all three, because your creative power is not limited, and your flexibility, your gift to hold many things at once, is what sets you apart from every other sign. Remember this. Creative power is not only about making something new, it's about revival, picking up an old idea, breathing new life into it, and turning it into something greater. Was there a dream once laughed at by others or even by yourself? Hear me clearly, that dream still lives. It has never left you. It's just been waiting for you to look back and embrace it once more. And if you believe you still carry a dream waiting to be revived, I invite you to write in the comments, "My dream still lives, not for me but for you," as a promise to yourself that you will not abandon what is precious ever again. Gemini, when you allow yourself to step into this energy, you'll notice the creative flow inside you no longer breaks. Ideas will arrive in unexpected moments while you sit alone in a cafe, while you walk through crowded streets, or when you wake from a strange dream. And then you'll start to notice synchronicities, as if the universe is whispering, "Yes, keep going. You're on the right path." What I feel most strongly is urgency. The magician hasn't shown up for you to admire. It's here to make you act, not to confirm you have potential, but to remind you that your potential must be unlocked now. The world is waiting for what you bring, and if you don't share it, no one else can replace you. Gemini, imagine yourself standing before a mirror. You look into your own eyes, and for the first time you realize the person staring back is not only you, but an entire universe waiting to be created. When you dare to live with your full power, you don't just change your life, you light the path for others. And then, when you're at the height of creation, you'll understand to truly live your dream, you cannot carry the old shells. The patterns, the limiting beliefs, the egos that once protected you but no longer serve you, all must be laid down. Because only when you dare to shed them can you truly rise. Death. The word sounds like an ending, yet in today's spread it rang like a door opening. Gemini, let me tell you, this card is not an omen nor a funeral bell. It is a message that the old part of you, the self that has limited you, is preparing to close, so that a larger, truer part of you can be born. Have you ever felt you were wearing a coat that no longer fits? A coat that once helped you survive storms but now constricts you. Death comes to say, it is time to shed it. When a part of you dies, it is not loss. It is the old skin falling away, revealing fresh, unmarked skin beneath. In the next 48 hours, I see a sign for you. Maybe a sudden phone call, a dream that startles you, or an unexpected invitation from someone you didn't expect. That sign is not merely an event, it is a doorway. And if you step through with courage, you will never see the world the same way again. I want you to pause and remember, you are not losing yourself. You are returning to your authentic self. Like autumn leaves falling, not to kill the tree, but to ready it for a radiant spring. The old self, full of fear, doubt, and limits, must dissolve so you can better see the light in your heart. You may have thought change meant loss, but Gemini, true change is a homecoming, a return to the truth you carried from the beginning. A child does not fear light, dreams, or love. Death reminds you, to grow, we must allow the old parts to die. Look back, how many times have you held on out of fear of losing something? A relationship, a job, a habit, or an image you wanted others to believe. Each time you cling to what is finished, you miss the door opening to rebirth. And today the universe whispers, it is time to let go. I know it is not easy. I know saying goodbye to a part of yourself can make you tremble. But trust me, what waits on the other side is an entirely new horizon. When you dare to let the old part go, you sign a promise to yourself. I am ready to live true, fully, and to burst open. If your heart is resonating with these words, I invite you to write in the comments, I accept my rebirth. Write it as a declaration that you are ready to cross the threshold. And as you write, imagine your own hand unlocking the door of destiny. I believe in the next 48 hours you will notice a clear sign. It may be small, a stray comment, a glance you catch, a song that plays at the right moment. Do not dismiss it. It is the universe confirming you are on the right path. Gemini, you are not here to live forever in the dark. You are here to be reborn again and again, until you touch the most pure version of yourself. This path will be hard at times, but it will carry you to where you truly belong. When you accept rebirth, a miracle takes place. You step into a new circle where things close in a blaze of completion. And in that moment, Gemini, you will realize you are ready to go further. To meet a higher, fuller message like a cosmic song waiting to be sung. The world, the card of completion of the circle closing and opening again. Of a journey reaching the place where every missing piece finally locks into place. When I saw this card appear for Gemini, I knew right away this is not the end. It is confirmation. Confirmation that you have walked through the shadows, crossed the threshold of death and rebirth, and now stand in the radiant light of your own being. Gemini, you were born to connect. Your language is not only words, it is a bridge. Your intellect is not only to learn, it is to illuminate. And your difference is not a burden but a gift humanity has been waiting for. The world arrives to affirm that you are stepping into mastery, into leadership. You are no longer the seeker. You are the guide. I want you to hear this line clearly. Only when you stop apologizing for being different will you truly change the world. How long have you tried to shrink yourself? To blend in, to avoid judgment, to escape standing apart. But this world does not need another copy. The world needs you fully, uniquely you, with your dual nature, your twin sides that may seem opposite, yet fit together in perfect balance. You are reason and you are emotion. You are the light of knowledge and the beat of the heart. You are twin wings, one burning with the urge to explore, the other soft with the power to comfort. And it is this union that becomes the bridge for others to cross their own darkness. Gemini, you are not only a light to follow, you are the hand that leads. Look back at the path, from the fool opening the door of beginnings, to the star awakening the hidden light, to the magician calling forth your creativity, to death stripping away the old self, and now the world placing the laurel crown of wholeness upon you. Each card was not just a message of its own, but a step, a rung on the ladder that lifted you here. And here you no longer stand alone. You become a mirror for others, proof that they too can endure, they too can rise. Gemini, imagine this. You are standing in a vast square. All around you are souls searching for direction. Some confused, some weary, some ready to give up. But when they see you, a Gemini who has walked the path, who has endured, who has touched wholeness, they will find the strength to go on. You don't need to say much. The light in your eyes, the way you live true to yourself, that alone is a lighthouse. And if right now you feel the stirring inside that it's time to rise, not only for yourself but for others, I invite you to write in the comments, I accept my destiny. Write it as a pledge to yourself, that you are ready, that you accept the role the universe has entrusted to you. Gemini, remember this. The world does not need you perfect. The world needs you real. And that truth is what makes you whole. When you dare to live with your entire being, mind and heart, strength and vulnerability, you create a space for others to be real too. And that is how you change the world, not with a roar, but with your presence. And now, as the circle closes, as you step fully into mastery and guidance, I sense a final message being sent to you. A message beyond any card, like a whisper from the universe itself. Forgiveness, freedom, and a great mission. 3 doors now stand open before you. Gemini, like 3 final stars lighting up the night sky, guiding you back to yourself. I want you to take a deep breath and gently close your eyes, because what I'm about to say is not a prediction. It is the whisper of your own soul that has waited so long to be heard. Gemini, your journey has never been easy. You were born with 2 currents of energy flowing side by side, reason and emotion, light and shadow, the longing for freedom and the fear of being left behind. At times, you felt split in 2, unable to reconcile, and so you began to blame yourself. You asked, why can't I be like everyone else? Why am I so complicated? But today, the final message for you is this: forgive yourself. Forgiveness does not mean excusing mistakes. Forgiveness means laying down the whip you've used against yourself for so many years. You've carried not only your own expectations, but the weight of your families and societies. You've forced yourself down a path just to be accepted. But Gemini, the truth is, you were never born to fit in. You were born to stand out. And that difference, that is your superpower. In the next 144 hours, a doorway of energy is opening. Every intention you plant from a place of truth will be amplified 1,000-fold. If you decide to walk in your own shoes, not borrowed ones, the road ahead will blaze with light. This is no empty promise. It is the law of the universe. Authenticity always carries the farthest. I know sometimes you are afraid that if you live true, you'll lose love, support, or safety. But Gemini, the lesson the world and now the universe wants to give you is this: living true is the only path. When you let fear or the expectations of others control you, you are living a borrowed life. But when you dare to choose yourself, you rewrite destiny, not only for you, but for those watching you for inspiration. You don't need permission to shine. You are the light. You don't need anyone's slip of paper to become your brightest self. Light needs no reason to shine, it just does. And so do you. Think back. How many times in your life were you called different? How many times did you sit alone, feeling you belonged nowhere? Write that story in the comments, because that feeling of different is the sign you belong on this path, the path of a guide, the path of souls born to light the way for the lost. Your story will become a lamp for someone else in the dark to let them know they are not alone. Gemini, I want you to imagine this moment. You stand on a high hill, the wind moving through your hair, the sky opening wide. Behind you lies everything past, the mistakes, the losses, the years you punished yourself. Ahead of you, a wide open field, untouched, waiting for your first step. Your heart beats faster, but instead of fear, you feel release. Because this time, you know, you're walking to the rhythm of your own heartbeat, not anyone else's. This is the moment when forgiveness becomes freedom. When you forgive yourself for being weak, for being afraid, for being lost, you set yourself free. And when you are free, you can finally accept the great mission the universe has given you. That mission is not a burden. It is an invitation. An invitation to turn your uniqueness into inspiration. An invitation to turn your twin forces, intellect and emotion, into a bridge for humanity to cross the long night. An invitation to live with Gemini's wings, one carrying dreams, the other carrying love. And now, as we arrive at the final message, I want to leave you with 2 things. The first is gratitude. Thank you for listening, for opening your heart, for walking with me to this moment. I believe your presence here is no accident, but a delicate design of the universe. The second is a blessing. I bless you, Gemini, as you step into your new path with peace in your heart, clarity in your mind, and wings spread wide in freedom. Because this sky, this universe, has never stopped waiting for your light.